little hangout about Pinterest 101. We'll just kind of wait for everybody to get here, and we can also watch this a little bit later too. This is my first Google Hangout, so I'm actually trying to figure out all of the settings and how this all works. So I'm going to just play a little bit with some of this stuff. And that is not what I want to do. Let's see. Okay. So one of the things, even if people don't come here, we can watch this later, which is great. But one of the things when creating Pinterest 101 was to give people a firm foundation and actually help them understand how to set up their Pinterest boards correctly so that they could maximize the exposure for their business. And there's 5 parts to Pinterest 101, and that is how to set up your profile, how to create boards, how to organize and maintain your boards, how to optimize your website for Pinterest, and then how to use Pinterest to build your email list. And one of the questions that I received over and over was talking about board descriptions and SEO. And we do talk about that in the course, but I'll just touch a little bit about that today and why that's so important. And one of the things that you want to make sure of is you want to always maximize Pinterest search and Google. So using keywords that your followers would use to find you or to find your products is really, really important. So we first want to start with board titles, which board titles have to be keyworded. Cutesy and clever titles are great, but they're not necessarily going to maximize your exposure. So something that is best cake pins is better than I love cake. And then when you're moving towards the board description, you want to use similar keywords in those descriptions. So it might be something like, here are the best homemade cake recipes that I've tried or that I think your family will love. Or you can even get even more detailed. Some people I've even seen, they've just actually just put titles in their description. So homemade cake recipes, best cake recipes, and they just kind of do that throughout the whole description. And that actually can also help maximize your views and get your board pulled up in search. Another thing you want to make sure you do is you want to categorize your board, and that will also maximize your views on search as well. Boards that you own are especially important because you can showcase your curated content and you can showcase other people, your content and curated content from other people. Another question that I got was about the group boards. How do you use them? How do you find them? How do you use them to boost your views? And those are really great questions, and we also talk about that in the course a little bit as well. I'll just touch on a few things, and that is how to determine if a group board fits you. And one of the things you want to do is look at, does a group board fit your niche? So if you blog about cats, it's probably not in your best interest to find a horse group board because you don't, even though maybe this horse group board has hundreds and hundreds of repins on every single pin, it's still not in your best interest to use it because you don't have any content that you can put on that board. And the whole reason you use group boards is to maximize the views to your content, to get a new audience to see your pins and to drive them back to your website. And so you want to make sure that you're choosing boards that fit your niche. You also want to make sure that you're choosing boards that have a lot of followers to them. I usually recommend at least the same or double the amount of followers that you have, because then you will be able to again increase your exposure. It won't just be, let's say you have 1,000 followers and you join a group board that has 50. Well, your chances of your stuff getting seen is very small, and so you want to make sure that you look for something that's higher. And a quick pause here, we're actually on vacation, and so there's a lot of things going on in the house right now, so I apologize for any background noise. So anyway, group boards are important to use, and they are important to your strategy in maximizing your content. Don't go crazy with them. Just add a few at a time, see how they do, and then look for more if they don't do well. And in my course, I talk a little bit more about how to find them and how to, again, maximize your exposure using them. Let's see. Another question that I got a lot of was best times to pin. And that's something that I didn't address in the course. But since Pinterest has switched to Smart Feed, it has since made it, time is still important, but it's not as important as it was before. When it was chronological, you could pin something at 7 o'clock and it would go out at 7 o'clock. But now with the Smart Feed, it basically goes into the Smart Feed. It evaluates what to do with the pin, whether or not to put it out at a certain time, put it out to a certain group of people, and then it goes out from there. So it might not go out to your whole follower base right away. So it might not actually go out at exactly at 7 o'clock even. But evenings are still a high traffic time, so it is important for you to use those times to showcase your pins. I like to do them kind of throughout the day because you never know who is on during that time. Let's see, what else for some other questions that people have. Really the basic thing that I kept receiving questions over and over about was just really talking about keywords and group boards and board descriptions. There were a few questions about promoted pins, and that's kind of a whole another level that I don't really want to dive into today, mostly because I'm still doing a lot of research as to how they work and how effective they are. I do know that with promoted pins, keywords again is really, really important. So we want to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're always choosing keywords that are best for you, best for your readers, and best to help people find you. Because keywords not only help Pinterest search, which keeps getting better and better, but it also helps in Google. A lot of times Google will index board titles. So if you, in the course I talk a little bit about this too, if you put in a certain homemade ice cream recipes, sometimes it'll pull up a Pinterest board. And we don't exactly know why that is, but we do know that it's important to do that. So anyway, this is actually going to be a little shorter than I thought, but I really encourage anyone who's just starting out with Pinterest. If you are thinking of using Pinterest to leverage your business, I would highly encourage you to do so. You can jump into the game really, really easy by following the 5 steps that I've laid out in Pinterest 101. It's very simple. Each video is less than 8 minutes. There's an action item at the end of each video that will help you put into action all of these steps so that you're not just left with a half-finished Pinterest account, but that you're actually completing the whole business setup, and then you can move forward into a strategy of pinning, a strategy of changing up group boards, and really starting to promote to your followers. So if you're interested, this week only, we're going to be doing Pinterest 101 for just $17, which is really, really inexpensive. And after that, the price goes up. So I would encourage you that you have today, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to consider signing up for the course. If you have any questions, please email me at simplepinmedia@gmail.com, and I would be happy to help you with anything that you have questions about to determine if the course is right for you. But it is a very basic course, and there is still some to learn for people who are pretty advanced. But if you've been using Pinterest pretty actively for your business for a while, this course might be a little bit too elementary for you. But if you have not been using Pinterest and it's mysterious to you and you just don't understand what to do, then what I would do is sign up for Pinterest 101, and I would be happy for you to go through the course and set up your account and start getting started on Pinterest. So thanks so much for listening today, and good luck with Pinterest.